Today I'm at Wat Nong Yai and I arrived here on the new Honda ADV 350. I've been riding it for 2 weeks. When I first jumped on this, it reminded me of the ADV 150, wide handlebars, kind of has that dirt bike, more of a motorcycle feel. When I first jumped on this, acclimating to it took me minutes, just like it did on the ADV 150. So it feels exactly like that, just a little bit larger and with a lot more power. The electronic key I just keep in my pocket all the time. I just jump on it, turn to start, hit the start button. I like how Honda uses the electronic key and the ignition and start better than the Yamaha XMAX, a little bit quicker. The storage in this is fantastic. I would say it's very close to the Yamaha XMAX 300. It's a little more organized, it's a little more shaped, a little bit different. You can easily get 2 helmets along with a bunch of other stuff in here. So great capacity, of course. When you first jump on it, you look down and you see the show front suspension. So it gives you an idea of how nice of a ride this is going to be. Of all the scooters I've been on, this is by far the best ride. The only thing that comes close to it as far as scooters go would be the ADV 750. But that really is more like a motorcycle. It's huge compared to this still. Along with the superior suspension compared to any other scooter this size or smaller that I've been on, the braking is by far the best. The low and mid power is torquey, it's responsive. Throttle response is always fantastic. As much as I love the Yamaha XMAX 300, that's the one place where it's a little weak, is from a dead stop, rolling onto that throttle, it's a bit soft. The Honda Forza 350 is better there, and this is by far better than both of them. Your top end power, top end speed, to me feels very similar to the XMAX 300. So the advantage in power delivery is really that low end and mid-range power, which that's where you spend most of your time. And because it's 350cc, it's still in that range where every time you take it out and ride, well, at least every time I take it out and ride, I use 100% of the power. Within the 2 weeks I've had it, I've rode in the city, tight traffic, slow traffic, on the highway and off-road. And it handles fantastic off-road. By far the best scooter I've been on for off-road. The ADV 750, as much as I like that thing, it's just big and heavy and I don't like it off-road. It's difficult in tight, slow traffic. It's just too big, but it's still a fun one to rent. But the ADV 350 overall is much more enjoyable. What made this a lot of fun taking it off-road, I could turn off the traction control. Full traction control, half traction control, and then completely turned off. Of course, off-road, turning it off is always more fun. But having that traction control on, it will not spin that back tire. I tried on super loose gravel and sand, it will not spin that tire. Perfect for gravel roads, bad road conditions, potholes, mud. Right now, this is only offered in Thailand and Europe as far as I know, and not the United States. And if this makes it over to the US, I have no doubt these will sell fantastic. Right now I have a Yamaha XMAX 300 in the US because we have faster speeds, faster roads over there. This would be a perfect fit. One thing I need to mention, the headlights on this are fantastic. I'm making this point to say how great these are because my other favorite scooter, the Yamaha XMAX, headlights are terrible. I love so many things about the Yamaha XMAX 300, but the headlights are one of the worst things. It's probably the #1 thing I really don't like about that scooter. The headlights on this, awesome. Windscreen, just like the ADV 150, adjusts right here. You get good wind deflection. What I like about this, unlike those other two, especially the Forza 350, the screen's so big and the way it deflects the wind when it's all the way up, it kind of sucks your body to the front. So when you're maximum speed, it's kind of weird. It pulls your clothes and everything forward, where of course you don't get it with this. Keeps everything back. I think this is perfect, especially in Thailand. This is all you need. Mirrors are fantastic. They're in the perfect position. One thing I noticed, of course, just like with the Forza 350, there is more engine vibration, and you notice that in your mirrors, especially at idle compared to the Yamaha XMAX 300. So it's not an annoying vibration. It's really not that noticeable. In fact, if you never rode the XMAX 300, I don't think you would really notice the vibration. I keep comparing it to the Yamaha XMAX 300 because in my opinion, that's the next best one in this class, this size. The seat, like on all these big scooters, is very comfortable. I do like how the seat is tapered. It does feel like you get a little more airflow through here, through your crotch. Yamaha XMAX isn't bad. The Forza 350, in my opinion, is terrible about airflow. I mean, you get serious swamp butt with that scooter. Just my experience. And of course, just like the other scooters, you can get attachments for storage compartment back here, no problem. Probably the best looking scooter. Do you think this is the best looking scooter right now? You think this looks better than Yamaha? I'd say the top reason that really sets this apart from a lot of other scooters. You feel confident as soon as you jump on it. And a lot of it has to do with handling. The wide handlebar just feels like you have a lot more control over it. Just like with the ADV 150, the suspension absorbs bumps like no other scooter I've been on. The next best one for that ride, that fun ride and how flickable it is would be the XMAX 300. But everything the Yamaha 300 does, I love about it, this does better. The tires it comes with, stock tires, you have great traction in the dirt and the gravel. There's no scooter that comes close to this. I've taken my Yamaha 300 XMAX off-road and that thing sucks off-road. The Showa suspension just absorbs those bumps like no other scooter. That's a big deal for me, especially riding in Thailand. And being older, I want something that absorbs those bumps. And when you're cruising around pretty fast, sometimes I do ride fairly fast, but when you come around some corners or you're on some road and you have some bumps on the road as you're going through the corner, it doesn't unsettle the suspension like some of the other scooters. Well, actually like most of the other scooters. And of course, it has a place to charge your phone right here. There's a plug-in like all the scooters now do. And all these newer scooters are going to electronic key. Any scooter I would buy would have to have electronic key. This is the way to go. I drop my pocket and just forget about it. Off and on this thing. So if I'm considering to buy a 300cc scooter, 350cc, and I'm comparing it to the Forza 350, one of the most popular I see in Thailand, the Yamaha XMAX 300, and then this ADV 350. In my opinion, this is by far the best. This is so much more fun. Now, if I was trying to decide whether to get the ADV 150 or the ADV 350, you really want to think how you're going to be riding. If 99% of your riding is in the city and you rarely go out of the city, the first you go out, maybe 10-mile radius, I would still go for my all-time Thailand favorite, the ADV 150, because that smaller size makes it easier to zip in and out of that tight traffic that's moving so slow and parking and just maneuvering it around. Now, having said that, if I spent more time out on the open road, traveling between cities, even 10%, let's say if I was 80% in the city, 10% I spent on the highways, I would get the ADV 350. Even though it's not quite as convenient zipping through traffic like that little ADV 150, it's still not bad. And of course, if I was a bigger guy, I'm 5'11", 185 pounds, if I'm 200 plus pounds, over 6 foot tall, then I probably would just go for the ADV 350. All right, let's take this out for a quick ride. Let's go do a top speed test. I rode over to Chonburi City and back, so that's 2 hours sitting on the seat. It was comfortable. All of the controls are very intuitive. No reading necessary. Yamaha XMAX for sure, the seat's a little bit more comfortable. It's a little softer. Forza 350 is very comfortable. My butt just gets too hot on that seat. Swamp butt. Here we go. Wide open throttle. I'm expecting 80, 81 miles per hour. I'm gonna hold it wide open throttle all the way to the top. And that's it right there. That's 80, barely 81, 80 miles an hour. That's it. Two things you're going to notice right away when you sit on the ADV 350, the wide handlebars like I mentioned, number one. Number two, the brakes. As soon as you head down the block, first time you hit those brakes, they're so much better than other scooters. 2 fingers, 1 to 2 fingers. Emergency braking, 2 fingers, just like a motorcycle. Hazards come on when you hit the brakes hard. Emergency braking hazards automatically come on, and they automatically turn off when you hit the throttle and take off again. On some of the other scooters, I'll use 2 to 3 fingers, usually 2 fingers, but that's 2 fingers squeezing really hard to get to stop fast. The 2 scooters that by far have the best braking of everything I rode as far as scooters, that's the ADV 350 right now,
and that ADV 750. It had excellent brakes. What I like about riding in Thailand is you can jump on your scooter or your motorcycle and just focus on riding. You don't have to worry about road rage or police pulling you over. Thailand's so much more enjoyable to ride. In the US, I have to follow car rules and laws. Rules that fit big vehicles, not small machines. Only one state in the US you can lane split, lane filter, and that's California. In Thailand, traffic rules and laws are set up much better for people riding a motorcycle or a scooter. Come to Thailand, rent a scooter or a motorcycle. Riding two people is very enjoyable. You don't even notice the passenger on the back. Comfortable seat, no complaints from my passenger.
If you want to rent this awesome scooter, come on down to Mr. Dean Big Bike in Pattaya, right next to Central Mall. For one day, it's 800 bahts to rent, and to rent this for a month, it's 18,000 bahts. And this one's brand new, only had 19 kilometers on it when I got it. It's only got 500 kilometers on it now. It's by far the best scooter I've rented in Thailand since I've been here. Mr. Dean is the only one that I know of that has this. Thanks for watching, and if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up so I know.